What's up, world? It's the Live For You podcast. Back with episode six.
You did 5 with those people, with the two homeboys.
Oh yeah, in Providence. Yeah,
definitely. Last week, shout out to the
episode
homies.
6.
Yep. That was a pretty.
dope.
Yeah, that was a cool one, man. My cousin Larry, hilarious, and one of our friends Hakeem, who's like a digital content, creator. He has his own company. It was,
Black entrepreneurs.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to talk to them, man, and just to see what they had going on with their lives and careers and stuff. So, and what Live For You meant to them. So, big shout out to those guys, and I appreciate them for being on the Live For You podcast.
Your cousin, man. I saw a couple of his videos.
Oh,
he's CSI joints. Like, I was peeping, I was looking at his CSI joints are dumb funny.
Yeah, he's cool. Larry, you see that, man? You hear that? But so today we're gonna really be talking about like identity and how you come to terms with who you are. You know what I mean? Like, how do you figure out who I am? Like, who am I? Who are you? Like a lot of people are still trying to figure that out.
Absolutely.
So we have our daily jobs, right? Things that we do for a profession to get money or to make ends meet, and then we have those other personal goals or those things that we want to accomplish for ourselves and things that we want to make us feel more like, I feel like I'm living out my purpose. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this is who I'm supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So my question to y'all to start the conversation is, like, do you feel that you know who you are?
I'll go first. Personally, not all the way. I don't think I've found my greater purpose. I know what I'm interested in. I know certain things that I like, what I dislike, but I can't 100% say that I'm not completely sure of who I am and what direction I'm supposed to be going.
Okay,
that's personal. That's just a personal viewpoint.
So, why is that? Like, why?
I think because I'm not where I want to be, and I think that's kind of just weighing on me.
Okay,
not a bad weighing on me, but it's like more of a it's stress that I can feel because I want to be somewhere, but I'm not yet.
So do you know who you want to become?
Yeah, I mean, I envision myself just having freedoms to create things that I want to create.
So all right, so like if I was to ask you this, if I was to say, all right, Kenny, give me the perfect description of who you want to become or who you want to be ultimately, what is that?
Oh, I want to be looked at as someone who is very inspiring.
Like Kenny Lockett, and here's the
absolutely. I want people to remember me by saying just like, he was very inspiring. He was someone who actually cared, and I'm big on seeing people live out their dreams as well as mine. But I want to help people realize that it's a lot more out here than just something you're good at, like basketball.
Yeah, sports, right?
A lot, especially like I use athletes. A lot of times their main focus is just sports and get into that higher level, but at some point we got to realize that there's other things out there for us.
Not everyone's going to make it to the NBA, and
nobody does in reality.
Yep. Let me just say this before we go to Meech. For me personally, being an athlete, I was one of those guys who was kind of like, okay, I'm going to college. I got recruited to play basketball, and that's all I really saw. Coming out of high school, just basketball and where I can go from there. But after basketball ended, I'm just like, okay. So I actually got to find something and tap into different passions. So I think that's the journey that I'm on right now. And I'm not completely there to where I want to be. You know what I mean? So that's why I say, like, I don't know who I am all the way.
So what are you trying to do to, like, try to figure that out,
I think I'm tapping into different markets, just finding interest. I know we talked about social media.
Yeah.
That's a great place to start.
Yeah.
Getting connected with different people.
Yep.
And I'm a little more introverted, so it's been a struggle to reach out to people. But that's what I'm working on. I'm trying to get out that comfort zone.
But you know what?
You're 6'4". What's wrong with you?
You know what though? Since I've known,
you're too tall to be introverted. You can't even classify as an introvert because you're just too tall, bro. You're gonna come in and already steal the room.
That's not valid.
Well, I'm just letting you know in reality, right? So you're going to walk into a room. You're going to garner attention off the strength of your physique.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So then it's just about what you want to display. There's nothing wrong with being an introvert, though.
It's not. I never said it was.
Business-wise, are you an introvert? Yeah, I mean, how bad do you want it?
Yeah, but that's something I'm learning. If you're asking me this question, senior high school, no, I'm an introvert all the way.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not even trying to reach out. I don't want conversation.
Yeah.
It's funny because I feel like a lot of the stereotype behind people who are more introverted are like they're not like leaders or execs. More of the execs and leaders are more the ones who are extroverts. But I don't know. I don't agree with that. I feel like there are some, silent leaders who, kind of see things from a different perspective and operate in that way.
Yeah, I think also it's like a mixture of right now I'm on this whole idea of you can't win anything by yourself. Like you always see when people win stuff, it's always team effort. People get awards. They say, I would like to thank God, my mom, so there's always a team. There's always a team effort. Obviously, the leader is just going to be the face of the thing. So whether whoever's steering the ship is going to be a loudmouth or as a leader by example, it's about the collective that they're around. Truly.
Well, like even with this podcast, at first when I was like trying to thinking about this, I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this by myself. I got this. This is I'm gonna do this. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna set this up. And then I was like, man, I can't do this by myself. I need people who are interested in a common goal or people who can help out. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I reached out to you guys, and you guys are obviously, doing your thing. But I wanted to go back and ask you another question, Ken. So since I've known you, right, you were introverted, but I feel like you've kind of grown to be, not grown, but like kind of like changed. Like you are more extroverted a little bit. You're not more, I don't know if that's just because we have a certain relationship, but you seem like way more extroverted now that around this time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean we are close and friends. You're one of my better friends, so I think that relationship is natural. But I definitely have grown over the years. But I still see tendencies and just little things. Like I'm not, simple. Like someone invites me to go out, on the town, and that's not my daily routine. So I'm a little hesitant.
Right.
I'm just like, I don't know.
Why you hesitate? Why?
Don't know. That's just my personality. That's just my comfort. Like, I don't know. Being around a lot of people like that, being in the bars, like those kind of scenes just aren't for me. They could be.
But everybody sees you as a cool guy, though, man. They're like, yo, this guy's a cool dude. I want to hang out with this dude. But isn't it interesting, though, right? Like, people will see you as that, but you wouldn't be like, oh, man. You're like, nah, I'm more of a, I want to, lay low.
I'm a very chill person.
Yeah.
And I've always been that way. And my family is kind of the opposite. In terms, I have a mother that's very vocal. My father's very vocal. I just never, I've always been in the cut, just chilling,
Gotcha.
I don't know why, but that's been me. And I think this is very important. I think to a certain extent that hurt me a little bit coming up as I'm growing up, aging. I feel like I allow my personality to limit, my peak because, I'm scared to reach out or I'm just nervous.
Gotcha.
Taking certain risks, certain steps.
Gotcha. Well, the most important thing about that is that you realize that, and you have been getting better and you're reaching out and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, as long as you know what you're I need to improve on this. Just being able to.
That awareness.
I be aware.
I'm aware of it for sure.
Very aware. Yeah, you gotta be very aware. Like that's literally the number one thing I would say that helped me, and from what I just know and seen and studied, it's just like your awareness is everything. Because sometimes you get lost and you get caught in a matrix, in a sense. So, like you said, you're comfortable with the idea of being by yourself, and then when someone asks you, it's like the very first reaction you have is like a kickback of, nah, I'm good. Like I'm so used to being by myself because it's been like that for years. That's a lot of days, a lot of reps. A
lot of reps. I got a lot of shots up alone.
You get a lot of shots. Like and you understand like repetition, 10,000 hours. You put in 10,000 hours and you get really good at something and good at a craft. Like you can get really good at bad habits, which is like because I'm not. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying staying inside is a bad thing because I've been there, but
You make a really good point, and I was in one of my videos I was talking about this the compound effect, right? I had read this book that basically kind of talks about habits and how one thing leads to another. Like say if you make a habit of doing something bad, then you're gonna get really good at being lazy or whatever it is. You know what I mean? If you make a habit of going to the gym, really putting your nutrition as a priority, then you're gonna become healthier. You're gonna continue to do that. So everything compounds. So you just really kind of have to like watch your actions and how you're moving, because if you don't, then like you can either unknowingly like go down bad trail, or you can just kind of continue to build. So just being, like you guys said, like aware, that's huge. But going back to like identity and knowing who you are, like how does that pertain to you? Like when did you come to terms with like I know who I am, or do you know who you are, or are you still trying to figure?
I think that happened way more recently with just like my practices and stuff of just self. So the self improvement that happened probably about 2 months ago, and it's just like I was telling this to Kenny when we were talking one time, and it was just talking about facing your truths. And when it comes to that, it's like a lot of us we have human nature to do like the bad habits. So you commonly might lie, some people might steal, cheat, and stuff like that. So it was literally trying to stop everything, stay away from the phones, the TV, whatever it may be, and just literally be in a room by myself with my own thoughts. And after talking to your peers and this and the third, which happened for me 2 months ago, so it's just been like now I 110% know who I am and know where I want to be every single day, and just kind of being able to build off that with like consistent habits, physically, mentally, spiritually, things that you do for just 5 minutes can add up, and it's crazy because when I was in the space where I wasn't doing that, you wake up late, you go to sleep late, you eat consistently bad, and then you wake up and you're groggy, and it's the craziest feeling I have is like if I wake up at like 4 a.m, right, to work out, and I'll wake up. And I remember just the times where I would set the alarm clock, and like literally I remember literally last year I would have my alarm clock set for 4 just to hit it, and I wouldn't even go. Yeah. Like I was telling myself one day I'm going to go. No, tomorrow I'm gonna go.
How long would that last?
Oh, that was probably like 5-6 months.
Dang.
I was doing it for 5-6 months easily, but then it didn't happen until like all the bad karma that I had kind of just hit me in waves and moments, and I'm like, okay, I gotta like life is talking to me
really
right
change.
now. Yeah, and I see why people will go through a downward spiral. So I was able to have those moments where I was like, all right, like you wake up and your bags feel like 800 pounds on your eyes, like just like of weight, So like those moments like that, man, happen. The truths where you had to face them head on, and you had moments where you had to be honest with yourself and honest with your loved ones and your peers, or even your professional people that you work with.
Absolutely, man. You bringing up some great points, man. Like when I was in Providence a few weeks ago, my brother, he used to be really fit, right? And I was just telling him, I was like, man, you got to get back into the gym. You got to get back into working out consistently. And he was like, yeah, I hear you. Then I was like, you know what? I was like, let's think about it like this. Like, think about it in a sense where your body is like a temple. Or no, I'm sorry. I said think about it in the sense where like your car, because he loves his car, right? I'm like, you take care of your car, you wash your car, you make sure that's clean, right? Think of it as your body. Your body needs an oil change, you know what I'm saying? You need to take care of yourself, you know what I mean? And he was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense, man. I really need to start getting back into it. But it's true, man. You gotta be honest with your peers, your loved ones, and let them know, like, hey, man, like, the habits that you've been kind of doing are just not really like adding up. You're kind of going down this trend. You gotta change it up, because if you continue to do that, then who's to say what can happen? You know what I mean? So health is wealth, man, and that's just people need to make that a priority. Like
and also that's all like around, and that has to revolve around everything too. With it, when you say health, like physically, like that's everywhere else. So it's what you are feeding yourself daily.
Absolutely.
So with like on your phone or at work or language stuff like that. Like there's so many things. Like for example, you have people in lower poverty areas, and they listen to certain artists that kind of portray exactly what's going on there. And it just kind of glorifies that. And then you have certain things that's just happening. It's like, all right, once you have that stigma being built in, and it's like, all right, you go in the hood, like when you're in the hood, it's cops, it's this, you have to sell drugs and get money because you can't make it any other way,
Well, like you said, man, I think that's where like music has a huge influence. A lot of people, a lot of youth are listening to like rappers or artists who are probably putting out negative stuff. So they're gonna live that negative life. And it's crazy because people who, some artists who may be rapping like that probably don't even live that life. You know what I'm saying? So like they would say one thing, obviously to get that money, or whatever. But people who are listening to this aren't really like. I don't want to like feel like I'm throwing them down, but like aren't really like educated to really understand the difference. Like, okay, this is what this person's saying to make the money and stuff, but this is not the life that I want to live because this is not benefiting me in any way. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I guess at the same time, it kind of goes back to like mentality and how people are kind of brought up and environment and all of that. Because there's a whole bunch of different factors. So, but going back to the question, because I still want to know, you know, what?
No, go ahead.
No, say it.
No, I was just laughing because we do get sidetracked a little bit.
Yeah, right. But I wanted to go back to like, so like the same thing with how I asked Kenny, like Dimitri, like if there was like a little like description, like what can you put for yours as of today?
Create, love, and peace.
Even more specific.
Nah, it's simple.
Like, what do you mean? Like,
it's
break it.
Simple.
So, create, love, peace. What does that mean?
Create, love, and peace.
But so, like, okay.
Is that you?
That's just the name. That's just what it is. That's
so I hear that and I feel that.
Because I think what you gotta understand is that I don't want I want just my values displayed and that's it. Like what my value was to me. That's just what it was. Like it's just about creating. It's about peace. It's about love. Like so, it's always gonna come from those three type of like if it's like a pyramid, pillars, and like that's just what it is. Like literally, if you gotta say something, it's like all right, create, and then people will be able to elaborate. Oh, Dimitri did this. Oh yeah, I remember when Dimitri was creating.
Mm-hmm.
Oh peace. Dimitri was such a humble guy. Oh wow, he's always smiling. Oh love. Oh there's never a day that Dimitri didn't say this. Like that's just, and then you can kind of embark on that. So that literally is just simplified for me. Those three.
Gotcha. So you've come to terms with who you are. You know exactly what your purpose is. Yeah. Man, that's.
But the thing, like the thing is, like the thing is, you come into like eye level with your purpose. Are you gonna grab it? Now I gotta grab it. Like I want to get hold of it, holster that, like and just go
and just continue to. I feel you, man. And
that's just it. So
I feel you 100%, man. And like. I was watching this podcast video with Kevin Hart and what's his name, Joe Rogan, yeah, and like there was some really good points on that podcast, man. And he was just talking about how like, knowledge is power. Being able to understand and know, like, all right, Oh, I'm sorry. He was talking about how learning is cool, like being able to learn different like things in life and being able to use that to your advantage. And then he brought something up about like how kids are just like, nah, school learning, man. I just want to go play Sonic. You know what I'm saying? Like
Sonic.
Like
what?
Like just being able to really.
Hey, that game was hard though.
It was.
But it's interesting though, because like the value in learning something can elevate you and really benefit you. Like Sonic will always be there, But
at what age?
Yeah, that's different too. I don't know if you
elaborated on that.
Yeah, see.
Like, that's drastic too, 'Cause I remember even with basketball, like I sacrificed a lot when I was younger, in comparison to some others.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So like I knew where I was at, and I'm like, all right,
yeah,
I'm gonna grind. I'm gonna be outside playing 10 hours a day. People are going to barbecues and this, that, and the third. And sometimes I just couldn't go because I also had a father and a background that was just very built off of work ethic. Yeah. So it's like certain kids don't have that, kind of platform in a sense from their parents or parent. Some people just have single parents or only one person taking care of them, or sometimes not even their parents. Yeah. So it's like you either do it out of struggle. So I know Kevin Hart, like he had his father who was on drugs. You know what I'm saying? So he had a drugged up father and a mom who was breaking her back. So all he knew was to like work hard and like give it back to her. So certain people, like you said, people who are playing Sonic are probably the privileged one.
That's exactly what he said. So you saw that episode too?
I remember. I don't remember
because some of the points
I seen it though.
Because some of the points that you just some of the stuff that you just said exactly what he said.
I was more so stuck to what he was saying about what people do when it's like, oh, people just say things just to add onto it. Like, oh, you seen Titanic, and it's just some random guy that's like, Titanic sucks. Titanic sucks. Like
that's another thing.
Those are the things that popped out. I was like,
that's another thing he was talking about in this podcast video. He was talking about how it's so easy to hate, and he was like people would just hate just to hate. Like they'll be like, oh, this chair. I hate this chair. This desk was whack or whatever it is. So like it's so easy to just hate. And
then you put it into the air, like it's in the universe. Yeah, like the idea of your hatred is now placed out there. Yeah. It's like I don't want that around me.
Yeah,
that's why I think energy is important, man.
It's completely,
especially in regards to finding out, your passion and living for you.
Yeah.
Excuse me. energy is what we put out. It's what other people put out. And as human beings, we definitely allow that to either, sway or motivate our opinions or whatever. Yeah. So energy is crucial. Energy is big. And how you respond to certain things are huge as well.
Vibes, man. You want to be around people who are, focused.
Vibes.
People who,
it's true, man.
People who, aren't like hating them, like, oh man, I don't want to play.
See, but you need a sprinkle of haters to add to that fuel. But I'm saying, like,
for some,
if you're in a room full of just toxic people, what do you think you're going to become? Toxic environment. I feel like it's just naturally just going to rub off onto you, whether you like it or not. You may find that in how you're speaking, just your temperament on the daily. And I'm saying that because, I feel like I'm living it. That's just true. So
you said you feel like you're living it?
I'm definitely in a toxic environment.
Yep.
And it has an effect on you. It does, man. Whether you notice it or not. Yeah,
man. I think it's really important, man. One of the biggest things in life and learning and going through, and living is being able to act, right? So as hard as it can be, man, everybody has their own battles that they face and decisions and choices that they have to make. But if you're in a position or in a situation where you kind of feel unhappy or someone's causing you to feel, have this like energy that's just so negative, then the only thing that's gonna happen is like you're just gonna continue to get that energy. That energy is just gonna continue to be there unless you are like, unless you have the courage to be like, you know what, I'm done. Yeah, I'm not dealing with this anymore. And as tough as it sounds, it just has to be on you to make that decision and be like, all right, you know what, this is gonna be hard, but I gotta figure this out on my own. Yeah. Because whatever the case may be, that person or whatever the situation is will continue to be like that until you make a change. So
that's big.
And I think a lot of that takes nothing's easy. So it's work. It's work to be able to even get yourself out of that mind state of that toxic environment, and how much time you spend with yourself, but being so reflective to the point where you're looking and feeling your inner soul, your energy, man, who you are. Because I think that's the thing. That's the biggest thing. I came to so many big decisions in my life and made just the biggest decisions of my life off of, you get advice, you get mentors that give you a couple of things here and there. You might talk to loved ones, your parents, girlfriend, a wife, whatever it may be, and then you come to the decision to do this, maybe for your career, or maybe even ending relationships and stuff like that. So I think a lot of that is so self-reflective, and then you spend time with your lonesome, and it's just literally deeply insightful, and just saying, okay, deep breath. All right, what am I feeling? And just literally just like looking at everything and seeing everything, and being like, all right. And then once you break out of that, you make decisions, you do stuff, and you start getting on the move. And and the adversity is gonna come with it. Life can be a disaster a lot of the time, So it's just like, how you gonna be able to handle those disasters, flip them into wins,
Facts, man. And everything compounds, man. Take all those losses that you go through in life, and that you encounter, and just turn it around. Like Meech said, turn it into wins and develop a habit where you're building yourself and you're constantly growing and learning. Like with me, man, like it's been a constant grind, Like I remember starting this, it wasn't even any like lift for you or anything. It was just kind of putting out like content, you know what I'm saying? Putting out a lot of like positive stuff out there, and just kind of just talking about like, stories or whatever that can try to inspire people. And I just was like, you know what, man, I want to try to get to a place where I can kind of work with more people, like try to tap into more people, and have build this with you guys, you know what I mean? And look where we are, you know what I'm saying? Look at this. Like I couldn't have imagined this would like turn out to be how it's been turning out to be. But it's just a constant grind, a constant like focus, and like learning and building. Like I don't know if you guys remember, but remember we had a episode where we talked about what our New Year resolution was, like what we're gonna focus on. What was our like main like thing on? Mine was focus.
I don't remember what I said.
Mine was focus, and like I've been following that, man. Like just staying focused and really like being on top of my stuff with like everything that I'm doing, you know, and it's really about like planning, and for me at least, it's just really about like planning and really like executing your goals, but like really staying focused to like what you want to do, what's the next thing, who am I gonna hit, what am I planning, and just staying consistent, man. And that's what I really been like on, you know what I'm saying? So, and like I said, like people, I think there's this thing on social media where it's like a perfect utopia world where nothing's wrong and people idolize other people, and you know, life is great, you know what I'm saying? But in reality, obviously people have their battles and people have their things that they're going through or that they're trying to accomplish. And like for those people who are listening, you just got to continue to go after it, man. Continue to just go after your goals, whatever is meaning to you. And if you're in a like a situation where like you're struggling and there's just a lot of toxic energy around, honestly, man, my advice is just to you gotta find something within you to be like, all right, I'm done. You know what I mean? Just gotta just. I went off again. You know what I'm saying? Just gotta take off.
I'm like, you got me. I'm like,
I'm like, not again. That's a great point you make, Zeke. I think personally, even before that, like, well, you just touched on it, but it is about self, realization. Coming to grips with yourself. Yeah. Figuring out who you are first before you can even figure out a path to go. Yeah. You gotta know yourself first, man. And I think that's the most important step. Yeah. Once you figure out who you are and realize that other people's opinions about you don't matter. It's just out there. Like, it doesn't hold any weight. It doesn't hold any value. Yeah, man. Once you figure that out, bro, you can move smoothly to your goals. But it is work, like Meech said. It is work. Like, you can't work for a week and expect greatness. It's got to become a consistent thing, and then you develop habits, and then habits turn into realities. Yeah, man. And then goals and accomplishments are endless. Yeah, you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. And like Kevin Hart, man, he was just talking about how he just needs like 5 hours or 6 hours of sleep to operate and just continue to work. Mm-hmm. Like he says his time, he was showing Joe Rogan on his phone. He had like a notes section about like what he does, like when he works out, you know what I'm saying? Like this hour is dedicated to straight working out. Mm-hmm. This 2 hours, 3 hours is dedicated to family. And then this is dedicated to shooting. Like he's so prepared with what he's trying to do and how he's like planning his day out, you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, how many people, like do that? Like really like, all right, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, this is my schedule, this is what I'm doing, and I'm following it. Yeah. Like to the point, to the T, you know what I mean? Like just like being that much ahead of like everyone else, you know what I'm saying? Just so prepared.
I think the thing too is that what has to be understood is this, Kevin Hart obviously got the insane platform, and he's at such a hierarchy and popularity, and he's a common face, a celebrity. The fact that there's so many people out there that are like business owners, and they run organizations or managers at corporations and stuff like that. Like the work that they put in it's just like that too. It's just a different. Absolutely, it's just a different field. It's different that. So the thing is that there's someone personable that you can also go to and be around and can find that's more remote to you, to assist in trying to help you build and help you get there, and give you some advice and push you to be able to elevate, compared to like, obviously everybody wants to, they see Kevin Hart, it's like, oh, I want to be just like Kevin, when there's always someone that's a winner around you. I think that's the thing, that people can't be blind to that as well. It's just because like, oh, Kevin Hart is one of the known faces in the world. Yep. It's like, nah, sometimes you can go around your block, there's a guy that owns a deli shop. Absolutely, he's been owning it for 30 years. Absolutely. Seen everything, knows everything, understands the business, so I think those things that's the beauty of life too. It's just like right there, like you can meet so many people and have conversations for 2-3 minutes. People that own barbershops, things like that, having conversations with them and seeing their grind and what they go through daily, just to keep up a building, keep up a store, keep up a movement. Like, it's a beautiful thing. Just absolutely, man. That's a great,
it's a great point, man. Sometimes the people who, are doing it are right next to you. You know what I mean? Who live down the street or who own a business.
It's a pride thing. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing I've seen is just specifically being in school, and we had guys, dudes who have brands and have movements, and it's kind of like everybody enjoys the wave, and you have an impact on a small community. Yeah. And it's just kind of like some people will talk about it, diss it, and some people will praise it. So it's just always interesting to me.
Yeah, man. More love, man. Forget that like hating stuff or dissing stuff. Let's just more love. Like if I see like Takai, I see Connie, and man, when I like see some of their posts and the stuff that they talk about and the things that they're doing, I just be smiling like, man, you went to school with these dudes. Look what they're doing, man. You know, like just to see people like and see them influencing and leaving their mark. Even you guys, you know what I'm saying? Like just leaving your mark on the world and just trying to affect others for the better. Like,
but I think the thing is too is the reason why I kind of like appreciate it is because the mark's all in different areas. Like we all we're pinpointing in different aspects. Yeah. So I could say the objective is the same because I know with my artistry and what I create is something that's gonna pinpoint people to a bit more towards a healthier, well-being, self-reflective type of mindset and a type of music.
Yo, and then just speaking facts right
bro,
now.
It's just facts. But I think that's the thing. Like I remember just seeing. I always sense a sense with the Connies and with the you and with the Takai, and when you doing self-empowerment, when it's more so a self-wellness type of brand, and you can see people somewhat like energies towards it was weird to me.
Oh,
and
really?
like with certain people, it's just like authentic. It's unspoken. It's an unspoken thing. So you can feel certain energies like that, and I see it with the artistry. Yeah. I have my friends in artistry, and it's a big platform in Boston. Yeah. It's a big platform in Massachusetts, and you can feel certain people that hate. You can feel people that appreciate and support.
Energy's all up. It's everywhere. It's genuine. It's real, man. You can't you can't fake it.
You can't fake it at all.
Dang, that's real, man. That's completely real. But I was gonna say something to you, Meech, because you was bringing up some pretty solid points.
They're touching the same point.
You was bringing up some solid points, man. I wanted to say something.
I was like, I just said a bunch of stuff.
So when it comes down to like being able to recognize like, oh, this person doesn't genuinely feeling what I'm doing or whatever, right? Do you like stray away from that, or do you kind of like, all right, you know what? I see what's happening, but you know what I mean. I'm not gonna like engage. I'm just gonna continue to focus on my stuff, or like, do you try to do anything to fix?
I think the biggest thing for me is that I remember reading at the end of the day. I'm reading those simple quotes that make you be like, oh yeah, I forgot about this, and it's like I just want to be a wise person. Yeah. So I know a lot of people just say the wisest person is the quietest in the room. And it's just stuff like that. So if you have that, no, seriously, that's why I respect Kenny. That's why Kenny my guy. You know what I'm saying? That's why I idolize Kenny, because it's just like
kid.
There's certain elements that he always had, and some other people that I know that always had, and they were just so quiet and it just always calm and composed, and it just, you didn't know if there was anything going on. Yeah. So when it comes to people's energy like that, you keep it to a minimum, and if it's brought up, you be authentic. You be honest, you be true. So if someone does approach you and they bring it up, okay, now I'm going to hit you with the wisdom. But I just don't ever see when it's a rambunctious type of person that's always in your grill, rah, rah, rah type. I always found it weird when it came to that, with being wise and mature in a sense. Well, for me.
Gotcha.
So that's how I kind of maneuver around
I wonder if Kenny felt my energy when he came in as a freshman in how my mentality was and the vibe that I was. I was like, yo, this dude,
like you.
This dude, he seems like he's a 3-man. He seems like he's a guard / forward. He's not taking my spot. He's not getting minutes over me. That's what I was thinking.
I didn't know that.
That was my energy, man.
I didn't look at you saying you were gonna play the same position. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, we kind of did a little bit, but then it just changed.
But then you became all pro.
Nah.
Get to the basket whenever you want. So that's another story.
That's another story for another day.
This guy.
But no, honestly though, man, it's really, life's really all about a constant learning, and for me, it's just like constant growing, constant learning, being able to support others, being able to give love, support, no hate, none of that stuff, none of that negative stuff, because that's just whack, man. And like
but
you said,
I think the thing is, because my side of that is like when it comes to finding your identity, is to also acknowledge those negative things when they pass by. Okay, I think personally, when it comes to being repressed, when you repress emotions like that, it can be a very dangerous person. You get to snap one day. Like I kid you not. I believe certain people that like murder, steal, or whatever, and do those things, like they repressed so much anger. And I remember meeting so many people that had some situations with loved ones, and they were pastors. You know,
and you
see what I'm saying? And you know, as a pastor, you repress and you talk about certain things. You're like, no, you can't. Like certain religions will say, hey, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that. And when you repress certain things, there's just certain people, they snap. So when you follow those paths and those patterns, and then devilish things come your way, negative things come your way, all that time that you never acted upon it. So like you just never been mad for like 6-7 months. You never argued. You never yelled at someone for 6-7 months straight. You yell that 8th month. That moment's gonna be crazy. You know, and that's where you have those people where you see those like NFL players like, oh, he hit his wife. Oh, he did this. He violated his probation. He did this drug. This, that, and the third. There's so much pressure and things that they repress. And they go into the media, they don't say certain things. That's why I respect like the Kyrie Irvings, and those guys that they just talk. Kevin Durant's. You can see how unhealthy that probably was for a guy like that who's still human on a high platform, and for 5, 6, 7 years was always doing what was well in other people's eyes. Repressed anger, repressed emotions, and so now when he says something, now they're saying something about him. And he's playing the best basketball of his life. So clearly, it's
true.
better. It's betterment for himself now as a person and as a career in his career's perspective.
He's happy with himself. He's happy with who he is.
But once you get to that space, and then once you get to that, isn't that what it is? You know, you're happy. You are happy with who you are in your own skin.
Absolutely.
But
happiness is always the goal.
You can't repress those certain things. You gotta express. Authenticity is everything. So like those moments where you do have to be honest about when negativity is in your circle. You have to point it out.
Absolutely,
you have to be honest. And then you have those people that's like, nah, I'm gonna just let that slide. So you're gonna let it slide, not say anything.
It's gonna come back.
It's gonna come back.
It's gonna get worse. It's just gonna continue to build, man.
That's where I want people to be at. Specifically with me, and I hope that goes. You know, you have to step on some toes sometimes in people's eyes, but it's all out of love. It's all out of passion.
Yeah, man. Turn that negative into something real positive. You know what I mean? But you know, going back to like the identity, man, it's really, you know, we really touched on a lot of, you know, huge topics, man, and it just came to me like the fact that everyone dies, right? Everyone dies, but not everybody lives, right? Yeah. Like people aren't really, there are people who aren't living. There are people who just wake up, do this, go to sleep. Wake up, do this, go to sleep. Wake up, do this, go to sleep. Like, you know, step into your life a little bit more. Step into your glow. You know what I mean? Like, figure yourself out and really, really like take advantage of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, really take advantage of you and your time here. Because as we see, we like, you know, who's to say tomorrow's the last day? You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know when that time is. So just, you know, take a chance on yourself. That's it. Take a chance on yourself, man. Like, just go ahead, man. If you're thinking about pursuing something and you're like, man, nah, I can't do this. That's not right. This is wrong. Oh, no. No second guessing. Just do it. Just go ahead. Just do it. See what happens. And, you know, if it doesn't go as planned, then hey, you know, you now know what to do next time. So just take a chance on yourself.
You have those things like taking those chances, and it's like, I see a lot of people. It's more so like acceptance. Everybody wants to be accepted. So when we don't take those chances, we worry about what if we get denied one time, you know, or 2 times or 3 times. You know, that rejection.
Rejection.
Yeah. So like when I see that, I think that's the biggest thing where a lot of us are halted, because it's like we all want to be accepted and we're afraid. It's all fear. It's all a motive just based off of fear. We're really worried about making certain moves and taking this direction just because we might get rejected, and it's possible because that is life too. You know, and it's just how we react to those things as well. It's really tough.
I think it's crazy. You know, a lot of people are out here scared to fail.
To fail.
And when I say that, I mean like not even attempting something. You know, you're fearful of the outcome. But I would rather like try something, fail, and grow from it than being even scared to even try it in the first place.
Oh, facts. You know?
Because you're saying, you're literally scared to fail. Like, we all gonna fail in our lifetime. But you're not gonna know until you try. You can't know something until you try. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Absolutely.
You know? Small example, basic example. Growing up, like let's just say early high school, you know, as an athlete, everything's athletics for me. But you walk into a gym for a tryout, you're super nervous. You're like, oh, you know, you put work in on the side, all that. You prepared yourself for this moment. But as soon as you step in that gym, you see all them players. You're just kind of like, oh man, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Am I gonna make the team? I don't know. I might not be able to hang with these guys. But then you go out there and you start playing free. You start. You tried something. You're trying. You're putting that energy out there, and next thing you know, you made the team. Yeah. So a little example like that, like you wouldn't have known. If your fears probably could have held you back from even going to the trials. Yeah. You know. Yeah, man. There's little things like that. Like you just gotta put something out there, whether good or bad. There's gonna be a result.
Fail forward, man. It's so true, man. But do you got any other key pointers that you wanted to make for the viewers?
Who are you looking at?
Me, Ken.
Both of us.
All right. Well, first, we all need to stop worrying about opinions because opinions really don't matter. That's just as we grow and get older, you got to realize that, you know, if you're struggling, you're going through something. And you know, you telling people about your problems, they don't really care. Yeah. You know, because they're going through their own stuff. Yeah. They don't have time to care about your issues. Yeah. You know, they may hear you out, but you know, at the end of the day, it's our problems, and we have to face them. So, opinions don't matter. It shouldn't matter.
Yeah. Definitely would say, continuously find yourself, know who you are. Once you know who you are, continue with those habits and the routines, and life will always change courses, you know what I mean? So once those things happen to you, it's just all about adaptability and adjusting. So don't get too lost in the sense of so many people lose themselves, and when a relationship ends or a loved one passes, you know, stuff like that. So it's just about, it's a new defining part of your life. And it's like, okay, this is a new version of you, you know, this was thrown in your way. So how you going to react to it and adjust and continue being a better person as we age and, you know, get older. Like you said, we're gonna be off this earth one day, and I would hope me today, you know, at 24 and me at 28 is not the same person. you know, so hopefully that's just kind of the mindset that I'll carry on, you know.
Nice, man. Everything compounds in life. You do good, continue to do good. If you're doing bad, you know, switch it up, change your habits, and live for the better. That's it, guys. It's a wrap.
Love.